Most people go through their day reacting to events rather than controlling them. They check their phones before getting out of bed, rush through a chaotic morning, and by evening, wonder where all the time went. The difference between highly productive people and everyone else isn't just discipline, it's a repeatable system. A well-designed daily routine removes decision fatigue, maximizes focus, and conserves mental energy. In this script, I'll walk you through a full day productivity routine, from the moment you wake up to the time you go to sleep, built on proven strategies used by top performers, backed by science, and designed to help you take control of your time and energy. Let's start at the beginning, the first 30 minutes of the day. What you do when you first wake up sets the tone for the rest of your day. Most people sabotage themselves by scrolling social media or checking emails. This immediately throws your brain into reactive mode. You're responding to other people's priorities instead of setting your own. Instead, I begin my day with intentional stillness. The first thing I do after waking is drink a full glass of water to rehydrate. Then I spend 5-10 minutes journaling. I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, my top goals for the day. This primes my brain for productivity, gratitude, and direction. No phone, no noise, just clarity. Next comes movement, not necessarily a full workout, but enough to get the blood flowing. This could be 10 minutes of stretching, light yoga, or walking outside if the weather allows. Studies show that even brief morning movement improves mood, focus, and energy levels throughout the day. It also wakes your body up naturally without relying on caffeine. After movement, I take a cold shower. While uncomfortable at first, cold showers increase alertness, boost circulation, and can actually train your discipline muscles. If you're serious about productivity, small discomforts in the morning build mental resilience throughout the day. Then it's time for fueling the body and brain. I don't skip breakfast, but I keep it light and high in protein. Think eggs, Greek yogurt, or a smoothie with protein and greens. Avoiding sugary or carb-heavy meals helps prevent energy crashes mid-morning. I also use this time to listen to a short podcast or audiobook, usually something related to personal development or business. This transforms what would be a passive routine into a learning moment. It's about stacking habits, pairing a mindless activity, eating with a mindful one, learning. By this point, it's still early, around 7:30 a.m., and I move into the most important part of my day, the deep work block. Did high focus work, usually from 800 to 1000 a.m. No notifications, no calls, no multitasking. I turn off all distractions, use noise canceling headphones, and sometimes even activate Do Not Disturb mode on all devices. This is when I tackle the most mentally demanding task of the day, the one that will move my goals forward the most. Whether it's writing, strategic planning, or solving a complex problem. I do this first because my willpower and cognitive resources are strongest in the morning. To protect this deep work time, I follow one simple rule: no meetings, no emails, no messages before 10:00 a.m. It's non-negotiable. Most people waste their peak energy hours dealing with shallow tasks, then try to squeeze in deep thinking later in the day when they're already mentally drained. Flip the script. Guard your mornings like your life depends on it, because in terms of productivity, it does. At 10:00 a.m., I take a short break, around 15 minutes. I step away from screens, walk outside, breathe deeply. This is more than just rest. It's about strategic recovery. Just like athletes need rest between training sets, your brain needs time to recharge between deep focus blocks. These breaks aren't laziness, they're fuel. After the break, I enter the second work phase of the day. This block from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. is for execution tasks. Things like answering emails, returning calls, reviewing documents, or following up on progress. These are important, but they don't require as much creative or strategic energy. I use batching to group similar tasks together. For instance, I'll reply to all emails in one go instead of throughout the day. This reduces mental switching and preserves energy. At noon, it's time for lunch, and I treat this time with respect. No working while eating, no mindless scrolling. I step away, eat a clean meal, usually something high in protein and fiber, low in sugar, and if possible, take a quick walk afterward. Studies show that walking after meals improves digestion and can increase alertness. It also creates a natural break between morning and afternoon work phases. The afternoon slump is real. Between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m., most people experience a dip in energy and focus. Instead of forcing deep work during this window, I schedule low-stress, low-cognitive tasks. These might include administrative tasks, organizing files, planning the next day, or creative brainstorming sessions where structure is loose. If I have meetings or collaborative calls, I try to schedule them here, when I'm not at my peak but still functional. If my energy dips too far, I'll use a 15-minute nap or short walk to reboot. You don't have to be superhuman all day. You just need to work with your natural energy curve. Around 4 p.m., I enter my final work block of the day. This is when I review the day's progress, check off completed tasks, and clean up any loose ends. I use a productivity system called the daily shutdown ritual. It takes about 15 minutes. I ask myself, what did I accomplish? What's still pending? What will I start with tomorrow? I write down tomorrow's top 3 priorities so that when I start the next day, I don't waste time deciding what matters. This closure ritual gives me a sense of completion and helps prevent the open tabs effect where you leave work but your mind stays running. By 5:30 p.m. I fully disconnect from work. That means no emails, no work chats, and no late night hustling unless there's a genuine emergency. Productivity is not about working more hours. It's about working with intention during fewer hours and protecting your off time so your brain can recharge. The evening routine begins with something active, either a gym workout, a run, or a long walk. This is not just for physical health but also for stress relief. Movement at the end of the day clears mental fog, lowers cortisol, and separates work life from personal life. It's also where I'll sometimes listen to a fiction audiobook or music to completely change mental gears. After physical activity, I eat dinner and then spend time on relationships or hobbies. This is when I connect with family, call a friend, read, or work on a personal project. It's important to have non-work related identity pillars, things that remind you who you are beyond your career. If every hour of your day is tied to productivity or work, burnout becomes inevitable. The most successful people know how to disconnect and play just as well as they know how to grind. As bedtime approaches, I begin a wind-down routine around 8:30 p.m. This includes screen-free time, dimmed lights, and calming activities like journaling or meditation. I avoid caffeine or sugar, shut off electronics, and often read a physical book. I try to be in bed by 9:30 or 10:00 p.m. The goal is 7 to 8 hours of high-quality sleep, because no routine in the world will work if your sleep is broken. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's your brain's operating system update. Let's quickly recap the full routine in terms of structure. Wake up 5:30 to 6:00 a.m. Hydrate, journal, and stretch. Early morning movement, cold shower, protein-rich breakfast, or reading. 8:10 a.m. deep work. No distractions, creative, strategic tasks. Let's quickly recap the full routine in terms of structure. Wake up 5:30 to 6 a.m. Hydrate, journal, and stretch. Early morning movement, cold shower, protein-rich breakfast, intentional inputs, podcast or reading. 8 to 10 a.m. deep work, no distractions, creative, strategic tasks. 10 to 10:15 a.m. break. 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. execution tasks, email batching, admin. 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. lunch and short walk. 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. low focus tasks or meetings. 3:30 to 4 p.m. break, optional nap or walk. 4 to 5 p.m. review, planning, and wrap up. 5:30 to 7 p.m. physical activity and dinner. 7 to 9 p.m. hobbies, relationships, downtime. 9 to 10 p.m. wind down, ritual, and sleep prep. Of course, routines need to be flexible. Life happens. But having a framework ensures that your default mode is efficient, focused, and intentional. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every day. You just need to follow your personal blueprint. Remember, productivity isn't about cramming more into your schedule. It's about doing fewer things, but doing them better. It's about energy management, not just time management. And it's about designing a life that aligns with your values, priorities, and ambitions. If you're serious about leveling up your focus, try implementing even just one piece of this routine starting tomorrow. Small changes create massive long-term impact. Build your routine, protect your energy, and take back control of your day. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to Real Anashahmad for more high-performance strategies. I post content designed to help you upgrade your habits, mindset, and systems to build the life you actually want. You're not behind, you just need structure. Let's build it together.